Australian #1 to two-time world champion, and I have the pleasure of his company. Gary, how are you, and how's the year been so far, basically?
Yeah, I'm all good. Year's been great until we talk about darts. But, darts has been a struggle this year, probably the year before as well. So, but just keep battling on. Hopefully that'll come good one day. Okay,
well, it's been a tough couple of years, obviously, with COVID in the mix, but you've enjoyed your time in that time, haven't you? Life slowed down a little bit.
It did. I must admit I did, because I was at home. I've never ever spent so much time at home. You know, I was off for about 6 months from my back, came back, and then the COVID hit, and you know, it was just spending time at home. You know, I've never actually spent that much time at home. And I loved every minute.
When you went back to play, and obviously you played behind closed doors, got into 2 finals in that time in 2020. What was that like, playing without a crowd? Must have been a bit weird.
It was weird to start off with. You know, then they started playing the background music. They squeezed that bloke in at whistles all the time as well, which was you know. But it was strange, you know, and it was great to come out of that. You know, once we started opening up again, to get the people back, it was a big difference. And
obviously as well, in that time when you've obviously come back to playing, I think sometimes you've actually admitted that you found it hard to stay motivated sometimes, haven't you? Do you still feel like that now?
I'm still in that kind of bubble. You know, I've just realised, I mean, before, darts was all my life, you know, 24/7, everything was about darts, but now with being locked in, I've came to realise it's not all about darts, you know. I've got young kids, spend a lot of time with them, we've got the wee business that we run, I'm there every day that I'm not at the darts, and it's made things a bit hard for the darts circuit, you know, for playing the darts.
All these titles, obviously 2 world championships, you've got 2 Premier Leagues, a World Match Play, World Cup, the list goes on. What else is left to do, really?
I've always wanted to win the Grand Slam. You know, that was my very first tournament I ever played in when I came across. Well, in fact, I played it while I was still with the BDO. I was an invited player, and you know, the fact I got so much dog's abuse. You know, the first year and the second year. You know, I loved it.
Well, here we go, match point again. And it's game, set and match. And Gary Anderson.
That's the Premier League. Nottingham, you've already got a win here, so obviously when you're at top, you're at the top, so you've still got it in you.
For some reason it came back, my throw was right, everything was right, and like I said to a couple of mates, when I play my game that I used to play, I win. You know, but it doesn't happen very often nowadays, so it's, you know, there's weekends I turn up and I play really well, and there's days that I turn up and I'm absolutely awful. So I think that kind of helps me as well, because the opponent doesn't know how well I'm going to play. You
seem very relaxed, you've got this relaxed approach on you, which is good, but talk me through a typical week. So when you're playing, Nottingham for instance, you win, when you go home?
Yeah, Nottingham, and I went up to, I think it was Barnsley or Wigan afterwards for a pro tour, played really well, lost in the final to Damon Heta, you know, played well all day, all 100 averages, and yeah, felt good. Next game week, back to rubbish, you know, so your guess is as good as mine how they're going to go nowadays. It is a weird one, but I'm not worrying about it, you know, it'll be what it'll be.
Okay, well, look into the year ahead, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward, you know, I'm in New York for the World Series, a place that I've never been to, so definitely looking forward to that. Madison Square Gardens, you know, I've sitting watching the documentary on Muhammad Ali last night and fighting in Madison Square Gardens, so to be there where he fought, you know, something special.
So you don't mind packing a suitcase for that one?
Yeah, well, not a lot, so I can buy some stuff when I'm first there.
Some souvenirs, boxing gloves.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Gary. I wish you the best of luck.
You're welcome.